Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Julius and welcome back to StoneBlock. In the last episode, we were doing a little bit of farming and we made this guy, which is the smeltery from Tinker's Construct. And we made it a little bit automatable so that we can get ingots of metal and everything quick and easy and effortlessly. So yeah, that's what I did between episodes. I went ahead and sifted a bunch. I cleared out another room and just got some metal. So today we are going to be working on a couple of things, and I forgot one of the things that I need to make. So let's put that on the list. Atomic reconstructor. So today we're going to work on power. So the idea is we're going to try to get power and machines up and running. And I think for now, I don't know where I want to put them. So we're going to have one of these rooms be like, this is going to be like the main room. So I think machines in here would be really good. We'll move all of these guys into this area. Because that makes the most sense to me. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have a little bit of stone we can replace things with, but all in all, it's going to be better to just put the sifting in the other room because that's where our automation for all this stuff is going to be eventually anyways, so might as well go ahead and do that. And then we will we'll clean up the other room and start making it our machine room. And we will eventually get more meshes and whatnot. We'll do actual automated stuff instead of all of this like manual labor that I have to do. And that's part of what the machines is going to help with. So let's go ahead and get 8 of those guys cooking. What did I have here? I just had something there. I don't even know what it was. Anyways, we are going to start working on, well, we're going to work on getting a couple of different things today. Namely, we're going to get power source, so something to produce power, something to store power, and then a couple of machines that are just going to help me process materials a little bit faster, a little bit easier, and whatnot. So, and then we're also, if we can, I want to get a watering can just to help with speeding up crop growth and whatnot. But then the other thing that I would like to try to get is some sort of, I don't know if we're going to use flux ducts or what. Those are kind of expensive on redstone, and that's one of the things we have the least of. So, do conduits still exist and do they still work the same way? I don't know if they'll work the same way, but we need conductive iron or higher, so that's probably out of the question. Do we have any like cables? Oh, right, we're gonna have all the cable facades. There's a way to turn those off so you don't see them, but I don't remember how. Let's see. Refined storage cables. Universal cables, that requires steel. Logic cables, network cables from XNet, don't know that one. Alright, well, we will probably end up, I don't know, we'll figure something out. But that's not too much of a concern for right now. So let's start with, let's go ahead and begin with making a, we'll put those in the other room. Let's begin with making a watering can. So, basic watering can requires water bucket, some more iron, and a piece of bone meal. And this thing is super duper useful. So, what is it going to allow us to do? Well, it increases the growth tick of pretty much everything that grows. So, sugar canes or the crops, whatever, doesn't matter. And honestly, that is kind of the plan. Like that's the point of this. So We just need a bucket of water. And I don't know if it's going to use our bucket or not, so we'll find out. And it doesn't. So there is a watering can. And let's just rearrange some things. So this guy is awesome. We can get so much string and crops and everything now. It works in a 3x3 area, and it gets much better later. Now there's a bunch of other watering cans. The extra utility 2 is just stone and a bowl. It's terrible, don't use it. Infernium, that's complex and complicated stuff, but I think those are really good. I don't know. And then thermal cultivation, those I've never used before. So I don't know. But we have this one, and I like the, this is Tiny Progressions. Yeah, Tiny Progressions 1 is really nice. So with that taken care of, excuse me, that is just a quality of life thing for me. So the next thing I want to do is we're going to look at our quests. Now, power generation, there is quite a few different generators and stuff in this this mod pack. However, we're going to go with the extra utilities 2 stuff because, well, it's got a quest line. So we're just going to go ahead and use those from the beginning because why not? So we're going to need to make a couple of things. That stuff is going to be super useful very soon. So we're going to want to make survival generator, and then we're going to also make a furnace generator. Now the survival generator is relatively cheap. It just requires a little bit of redstone. We're going to use pretty much all of this redstone, unfortunately. We're going to need a furnace, which I can go ahead and make. And yeah, just something like that. So there is a survival generator, and that should be a quest. And we're going to get a loot chest for that. So let's go ahead and set this guy up. And this guy is pretty, well, terrible. I guess we have some coal in here. Let's go ahead. Actually, we don't need that much. So let's go ahead and put 8 coal in here. And if we hover over it, it'll tell us how much it generates. This is going to generate 80,000 RF, but it's going to take a while. 13 minutes to generate 80,000 RF. Now, that's not bad. The nice thing about these generators is they will eventually kind of stop working once their buffer fills up, and it doesn't waste any fuel. So that's really nice. So while that guy is going, let's go ahead and start making the next one, which is the furnace generator. Now this is similar, except it requires a machine block, which is going to require a chest. So let's go ahead and get some wood as well. And just because it's easier, I'm going to do this. Let's just go ahead and shift click because it's nicer, it's easier, it's better. And then we have the machine block. We're going to need another furnace because it is still a furnace generator. And we'll use more of these machine blocks later. That is not going to be a waste or anything. And then 2 redstone, and there's a furnace generator. So this is yet another quest. These are all leading to the rainbow generator. And once we have that, we're going to set it up, and that's going to be our main power source. I've kind of already decided because it's ridiculous how good it is. So let's go ahead and grab that loot chest as well. So this guy, if we look at him, we're only going to get 16,000 RF per each piece of coal. However, it is much, much faster. It takes 20 seconds to generate that. So we're going to put a little bit of stuff in there, and this guy will put the rest. Just because this is more efficient if we don't use power too often. And speaking of power, we need to store the power. So that's the next thing on the list. And that is going to be done through an energy cell. And I think we are going to want flux ducts. We'll try using these for now. I was hoping to see if... Doesn't look like, what's the mod? Solar Reborn or something like that is in this pack. So, otherwise, energy, where are they? Energy nodes? How bad are those? Those are very expensive on redstone as well. So yeah, we don't really have much choice on redstone, or rather RF transmission at this point. Later, we're going to use wireless. I think that's going to be the best option for us, and I believe that comes from the flux. Oh, hey, that's what these are. Flux spores. Might want those. We'll see. I was looking to see what kind of like, drills and that kind of stuff we had in this pack to see what I'm going to want eventually. And maybe these flux spores are what we're going to go for. I don't know yet. But I'm looking for something. Flux Networks is the mod, and these guys requires flux blocks. It's going to require a lot of obsidian and eyes of ender, so we'll get to that point eventually, and then once we do, we won't have to worry about wires. So that's the idea. So let's go ahead and make some flux ducts. Not many. We don't need too many powerful ones or anything like that. In fact, the hardened ones require the leadstone ones, so it doesn't matter all that much. But we need this, and I just remembered we're going to need some glass. So we get to hammer down some cobblestone into gravel, gravel into dirt, dirt into sand. And that's where we're going to stop. The sand will also go into dust, but we don't want that right now. So we're going to need some lead, which I should have. In fact, I know I do. We have more iron. Let's go ahead and grab that. And we have a little bit more iron, so we can always make more if we need it. But we're going to need one piece of glass, or is it two? It is one. So leadstone flux duct. There we go. And we can just do, whoa, something like this. And let's see. I guess we could put, oh man, this stuff is gonna take forever to break until we get a wrench. Which, how bad is it to make the crescent hammer? I love this thing. It is iron and tin, so I think we can afford that. Again, iron is kind of a commodity right now just because it's used in so much stuff that I don't want to use too much of it, but we can use some of it for now. So let's just go ahead and make the wrench. And I don't need the stone crooks anymore. Alright, cool. So the next thing on the list to make is the energy cell. Now this is going to require some more glass, some more lead, and there we go, lag spike. Don't know what caused that, but it happens. So we're going to need a little bit more lead. Not a problem. We can go ahead and cook it up. Just throw it in here. It'll automatically be placed into the smeltery and auto process. So it's not a problem whatsoever. So we need a lead gear, then some iron and glass, and that will make the energy cell frame. Then we also need a piece of electrum. So this is interesting. We need, let's see, silver and gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And actually, no, let's just use single ingots. And the nice thing about this is we can very easily make electrum with the smeltery. So smeltery is empty. Just put those in there. And this time we're going to turn this guy off. And we're going to let those guys cook for just a moment. Now the other thing we're going to need is a redstone block. And then 2 redstone like so. And once we get the electrum, which it has made the electrum, we can go ahead and turn this back on. It'll cast that out. We're going to need 2 lead and an electrum. So electrum is pretty easy to remember. It's a 1-to-1. So 1 silver, 1 gold gives you 2. And then with this, we have the energy cell. Now, eventually we can make this better, but for now it doesn't matter. We're just going to have an input blue and then output orange. Ignore everything, and it'll be fine. So this can store 2 million RF, and that's great. We're going to use that for a lot of machines. So let's start working on machines. Let's see. We can get rid of the crescent wrench. We can get rid of this generator. Pretty much all of this stuff, actually. So we want to make the crusher. And in order to make the crusher, so we're going to make the crusher from actual additions, because this is going to be the easiest way, I think, to make sand, dust, gravel, and dirt, whichever one we want. And it's not terribly expensive. I say terribly expensive, but it's not too bad. We're going to need some crushed flint, black quartz. That's what it's called. Let's go ahead and put that in there, and we'll get this cooking. But we also need Restonia. And in order to get Restonia, we need an atomic reconstructor. Now, that's not too big of a deal, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. And this is just a bunch of iron. So are we going to have enough for both of these? Looks like maybe. Definite maybe. Let's go ahead and get some more sticks. And we can do this. Balance, and get 2 iron casings. Now we don't have enough to get the double crusher. I do want to upgrade to this eventually, but we don't have enough stuff to get that yet. So the atomic reconstructor, there we go. So one of our first machines. Now this guy is going to go right over here, and we need a redstone torch to do anything with this. So we're going to need a little bit more redstone. Before we make that, do we have any redstone torches? No. Alright. So redstone stick gives you a redstone torch. And the reason we want this is this guy is a little finicky. We want to put him like so. And we want pulse. That is the ideal. So with that, we can just take a button and place him on here. And the redstone torch literally just toggles this to whatever mode you want it. And we want it to have the mode we set it to, because we want to be able to activate the laser on button press. Now, in order to get the crusher, we're going to need these basic coils, and that requires a bunch of redstone. So I don't have that much. Let's open some loot chests. We have yellowite ore and more yellowite ore. Alright, that was not great. So I really don't want to do this on camera, but you know what? Let's do something slightly different. So if we do something like this, and make 9 of those, and then we can make a compressed stone hammer, which will allow us to come over here to these compressed blocks, and we should be able to vein mine this and get a lot of gravel pretty quickly. We need more redstone, and now redstone's not terribly rare. It's just a matter of getting all of the stuff sifted. Like all of the blocks broken down and all that kind of stuff is really quite annoying. So if we look at it is slightly more durability, but we can hit compressed blocks. And then we come over here. And make a bunch of compressed blocks and continue on our way. So we're going to want to do something like this. Let's go ahead and hit the rest of these guys. And that'll give us a little bit more than 60. But that's okay. So recipe like so. Actually, no. Yeah, that's 66. So yeah, we're just going to do this real quick. It won't take too long. We need a total of 10 redstone. And all of it's going to be turned into redstonia. So it's kind of annoying, but we just have to do it. But relatively soon, I'm hoping not to have to do any sort of, well, sifting or, honestly, the what we're currently doing on camera. Hopefully, anyways. Why am I missing 2? Oh, because I never hit them. And back to this, we're gonna need. We have plenty of wood, so it's not that big of a deal. We just need to do this. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and make one of those wands, because that's super useful as well. So we're going to want uses. There we go. Break this guy. So we only have two more times of this. Not that big of a deal. But can we even? We can. All right, cool. So this will make placing stuff a little bit better, at least slightly anyways. And here we go. There's a bunch of sand. So fun fact, when I broke all of the ceiling of the smeltery room, it actually put the cobblestone that broke off into the smeltery itself. Which is kind of neat because it auto picked up those items, but it did make some more seared stone than what I had before. So yeah, that's a thing. It's one of those like kind of weird quirks about Tinkers that is useful sometimes, but sometimes just gets in the way. All right, so. Let's go ahead and eat first, and then can we break the last 2? No, of course not. So let's just turn those into sand, and we'll keep those for now. I'm gonna put that stuff in there. We have plenty of stuff to sift, so we just need 10 redstone. So that's what we're gonna get, and then I'll sift the rest of the stuff later. Once I have more iron, I can get more meshes and all that kind of fun stuff too. So ultimately it's just a matter of once I don't have to do that whole process of just getting resources by making a ton of hammers and all that kind of stuff. Once I can get rid of that step, it's gonna be a lot better to kind of finish all this stuff. So there we go. All the extra stuff because I have way too much stuff in my inventory. And I'm going to end up moving this chest, so it doesn't matter too much, but let's go ahead and put all this stuff away. Except for the stone. Oh my god, I'm misclicking everywhere. Alright, and I believe all this stuff needs to get turned into, it does. So we throw all the redstone right here. Shoot it with a laser, and now we have redstonia. So that is how the atomic reconstructor works. Now we're going to need 1, 2, and 2, and 2, and 2, and some black quartz, which is why I kind of cooked up a little bit more. So there is 2 basic coils, And is this up here cobblestone? Cool. So we just need to flip. So with that, we have the crusher. And the crusher is a kind of awesome machine. Again, we can upgrade this guy later. But we can just throw cobblestone in there and it will start working. I don't know why the display looks weird. But thought there was a button you could hit. But anyways, the crusher will kind of, well, crush. It'll give us eventually a bunch of materials, and then we can work towards making another one. So the double crusher requires 2 crushers plus another iron casing and advanced coil, which is just some gold around the basic coil. So in order to kind of deal with that, we're going to I'm going to have to sift all of that dust, all of this dust, and once that is done, which I'll use the string from this guy, this farm, which is giving me plenty of string, by the way. Plus we have all these reeds. Not that they matter for what we're doing, but it's still nice. But we'll take all the string and the reeds, or the iron rather, and I'll make more meshes. And once we have everything kind of taken care of, we can just make more stuff and better machines. Now, what's some of the things that it wants us to do for the start? We still need to make a mob farm. That is definitely a thing. We need to get the stuff for the nether, and better cobblestone generation, and then diamond meshes, and then the auto sieve. So really, we're kind of to the point where it doesn't matter too much. We'll need to get into mystical agriculture at some point, and better storage stuff. So there is still plenty of things to do. That requires nether star, which is back here. But yeah, so we will probably, in the next couple of episodes, we're going to start working on, honestly, I don't know, maybe getting better tech, or else we're going to start working towards a mob farm, but I'm not quite ready to do that yet. Now the mob farm, I believe, is going to be underneath us. I would love to have, please tell me they're in here. I love these blocks. Elevators. Yes. So we have elevators. That is amazing. They do require ender pearls, white wool, which is easy enough because we have string. But yeah, we're going to make some elevators, and we're going to have them going up and down. So that's kind of the plan. In fact, we're probably going to make this room smaller so that we can kind of make everything even. But yeah, this is going to be the main room. We'll have our storage stuff, and actually we might have, this might just be a tall room. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, like I said, we're either going to focus on teching up and getting more tech stuff, maybe working towards auto sifting. That's going to require some power though, and we're not quite ready with that. Something that would be nice to have is the culinary generator. These are usually better, but the secret with this is we kind of need to get some better food sources to make it worthwhile. And that is the question that I don't really know what we're going to use. So I'll kind of have to look through this. I know cooked apples are really, really good. And they're pretty easy to get, actually. That might be what we do for now. Later we could probably do like fried eggs, which is just cooking Minecraft eggs, which we can get from hatchery eggs. That's kind of insane. Cooked bacon might be something later as well. And just kind of looking through here, monster jerky, for example, is decent. There's a lot of different foods and a lot of things that we need to kind of, oh right, Pam's Harvest Craft is in this. Yeah, some of the best stuff is going to be Nether Star on toast. Really? That's not an expensive food item at all. Paradise Burger? Okay, that actually looks kind of cool. Um, but yeah, with Pam's Harvestcraft, you can do stuff like, I know one that I always went for was Extreme Chili, um, which I'm assuming is still in here. Extreme Melter. I have no idea what that is. So Extreme Chili, which is chili pepper with bean, some sort of steak product, and onions. Or you can even use chili peppers or bell peppers. So that's pretty simple. It's just a couple ingredients. You can also use cooked tofu, which that is complex. So steak would probably be the better way, but unfortunately that is still kind of difficult. But this guy would give you, in a culinary generator, the extreme version, because that's not much more difficult, 48,000 RF. That's not bad. And then I know the other thing is, what was it called? It's, oh, let's take a look at what all steak can be used to make, because that's what it was off of. Meat. Let's see. Don't see it. I don't see it. I don't remember what it was, but there was something that you could make a lot of stuff from, a lot of power from. So I think the biggest thing is just gonna have to. It's a top tier food. Wow. That makes a lot of power. So I'll just kind of have to look and see what is going to be the best way to get power before we do auto sifting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Corned beef, thankful dinner, Korean dinner, gourmet venison, miner stew. Now that's interesting. Okay. That's a little expensive with the diamond, but that's an interesting food source. We can picnic. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and it's just going to be a matter of kind of figuring out what it is we're going to want to make. Mob soup. The ender pearl is the tricky part, but that's a pretty good power supply. Fermented spider eye is also pretty bad. But yeah, so I will tell you guys what. I'm going to kind of figure out what we're going to do next time. Probably, you just don't have power. Oh, because this is running, and this guy is the only one that's really giving us power. So I'm going to work on sifting and all that kind of fun stuff. And next time we're going to try, I think we're going to focus on getting more power generation and better power generation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!